Let's talk about Shadowfront. Huh?
So lately we've been doing the Shadowfront event, and I get many questions on how it works and about successful strategies. This is the kind of event that I really like, and I've spent some time thinking through it. Hey guys, this is Heretic, and in this video guide, I will explain strategies for the Shadowfront event in Foundation Galactic Frontiers. The game has only been out for a few months now, and I'm sure as time goes on, this guide will evolve as we play the event more and as changes are made to the game. In this event, your team, which can have up to 20 players, is teleported to a map where you're going to face off against 3 other teams. The objective of this event is to take and hold vault locations, which give points that determine who wins the event. The vault locations are lesser vaults, of which there are 8, and central vaults, which give you many more points, but there's only 2 of these. I've divided this guide into 3 parts: the setup, battle phase 1, and battle phase 2. So let's go ahead and get started. The setup. Quick overview. 20 people can be on a team, and of those, 3 of them can be a commander. Commanders have access to marks that they can use within the battle map that will show people where to go to do different things. You can also have 10 substitutes. These can help you fill in if a main participant can't attend, and these players can only join after the event actually begins. Each guild can have 2 different teams that can participate in the event in a given week. Your guild will be able to choose from 3 different times. These all occur on Fridays. You can set 2 battles either at the same time or at 2 different times, depending on the time zones and the availability of the members of your guild. All right, so the most important thing is that you can take a team with up to 20 people into the event. Having 20 people gives you the best chance regardless of your power. To help you with this, you can have 10 substitutes that can enter after the very beginning of the battle if 1 or more of your main participants fail to make it. You have 3 times that you can choose for these battles. It can be either at 9, at 18, or at 23 UTC. And you can have up to 2 different teams, right? Your whole alliance will be able to submit their time preferences for each week, and this will help you when you're determining when your battles actually occur. I suggest setting up 2 different groups in your chat. One of them for Squad A, the other one for Squad B. Include all of the main participants and the substitutes. You can add and remove people from that group. So here's how you actually create a group within the game. I'm in my guild chat right now. If I go up here to menu, I can go to group. I can add people to the group. And then I can create the group. And once you create the group, and I'll show you this. This is one I've already created. Once you create the group, you can go up to the widget up here. You can rename it. You can add and remove people from the group. So you can add a group member, remove a group member. You can transfer the leadership of the group to someone else. You can leave a group and you can delete it. You can also allow group members to invite other players to join the group, which this would be a good one too. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. All right. And so I have a group for Squad A and I have one for Squad B as well in here. So this allows me to divide up the teams. Use the groups to discuss your basic strategy before you actually start. And that will mean quite a bit because as soon as the battle actually begins, people are going to get lost. You know, there's chaos a little bit. and it's a little bit more difficult to communicate. So if people know in general where they're going to go and what they're going to do, and you know what the map's going to look like and what your positioning is well in advance of the actual event, like a day or two. Another thing is you should have separate leaders for each squad and build the strategies based on your team makeup. All right, so now on to Battle Phase 1. So here's the map. Your team will always be blue, but you can be in different positions on the actual map. You will have a few minutes to load into the map. Once you get in there, you're just going to be in this circle, just kind of floating there. You may have to click a few times just to enter the first time, so be patient. This happened to me the first time we did the event, but since then it's been a little bit smoother. So now let's talk about strategies for Battle Phase 1, because this, in the first phase, is where you can actually communicate that strategy ahead of time. It's going to be really hard to communicate what you do in Phase 2 other than just a general. So in Phase 1, there's different things you can do. You could either send 2 people off to one of the lesser vaults and take that, while the rest of your group goes to another one of the lesser vaults. You take that real quick because you have more people, and then you move on to the central vault. Or you can just send one person to each lesser vault that's close to your starting position, and then just move everyone right at the very beginning to the central vault and take that. It just depends on your makeup, and there's different ways that you can do this depending on how you do it. You may want to put 5 and 5, on each lesser vault, and then send 10 to the central vault, and then bring those 5 in as soon as they're able to take their part. I would not leave anyone to defend those at the very beginning, because what you really want, is to have the numbers to take that central vault as quickly as possible. It's really, really, really important that you take 20, that you have 20 people there. Again, so what you can do, what I highly advise, is that your commanders use the icons on the left side of the screen, and you just click those icons. So like the attack, you click the attack, and then hold down the click with your finger on a mobile device, or if you're on a computer with the mouse or whatever, right? And you hold it, and then a mini map comes up, and then just drag it over to the vault area that you want people to do things with. For the attack, you drop it on top of the central vault, and then everyone would know, go there. You could also drop the shield onto where you want to defend, and people will know to go there. They may not know how many, but those are the things that you can discuss ahead of time. So you can say, I want players 1, 2, 3, I want you to be on defense. So anytime a defensive marker drops on the map, that's where I want you to go. Everybody else, I want you to be on attack and go where the attack marker goes. That's a good way of communicating things in advance to make it easier in the chaos of the event. All right, so let's move on to Battle Phase 2. So to take one of these lesser vaults or the central vault, the very first time, you just send your players there. They stay inside that circle. It's really important that everybody stays inside the circle and that you don't chase people out, that you don't just sit in space. The more people you have in the central area, the faster it is that you will take that. Let's say you arrive at a position with another guild at the same time. Whoever has the most players will take that vault area first. So that's all there is to taking a vault area the first time. So now, let's say in Battle Phase 2, you've already taken that central vault area. Now, there's 2 central vaults. Let's say you want to take that second central vault. What you'll have to do is send players over there and attack the vault itself. And it has hit points, and you want to knock those down to 0. Once it knocks down to 0, then the area becomes untaken, and it works just like Phase 1, where the team with the most amount of players will take that area. So it's really important that you move as a large group and that you do not overextend. Probably the easiest way for you to lose is if you go out and you either have a lot of lone wolves that are just out, fighting, trying to get points on their own, or you overextend too much. You try to take too many things at the same time. So then you've divided up your group so much that you're gonna be weak at every attack, basically. So the more people you have together on attacks, the better chance you have to win. Now, that being said, if you have 2 or 3 super strong players, you could send them off and give them specific tasks where they go out and they just cause chaos to the enemy while everybody else stays together in a ball. That's another way, another strategy that you could have. You could have this kind of speed team or this strength team that goes off on its own and does things, right? So one thing that happens in the second part of the event, which the event is 30 minutes long. So let's say in the last 10 minutes or so, you'll have a thing called Brief Awakening, and it'll be a timer that counts down, and I believe it starts at 3 or 4 minutes. And when it gets down to 0, whoever holds that vault area will get a big bonus of points. And this can be the difference between winning and losing. So I highly recommend as a strategy that you have a commander who's paying attention to that. And as soon as that comes up, they're looking to focus the next adventure for your players on those vaults that are going to go into that Brief Awakening. Now, it's random which vaults it happens on. I've noticed that it's normally one central vault and multiple of the lesser vaults, usually I think 3. So you'll want to get all of those if you can. And you want to have, for sure you'll want to have the majority. You could be winning up to this point, and your enemies, if they're owning that central vault, or if they take it at the last second, or they take a couple of the lesser vaults, they could quickly jump into the lead. So it's really important that you take this part serious. We noticed that we owned one of the lesser vault areas and one of the central vault areas, and we got 1,500 points all at the same time. Considering the teams that win usually win at about 7,000, 8,000 points, 1,500 is quite a bit to get in 1 second in a 30-minute match. So if that kind of puts that into perspective, you could have 5 to 7 players kind of branch off and just go out and try to take those. You just want to own it at the last second. Everybody else could defend one of the other ones if it's going to go into Brief Awakening, and you could send 5 to 7 to take one of the other ones. That would be smart. Also, as a strategy, be smart and take areas and keep areas that are closest to your base, and then closest to your weakest enemy if it's close. You definitely want to minimize the amount of time that your players are traveling. So the more time you spend outside one of the circle areas of a vault is just wasted time. So the more time you spend inside the circle vault, the better chance you're going to have to win this event. Don't let the enemy take the lesser vaults close to your base, but if that happens, it's not as bad as you would think, because whenever any of your ships are destroyed, they respawn back at your base, and you can't be hit in the circle at your base. They'll be healed up, and they can re-enter the battle really quick, so they can get back to that battle where your enemy is taking damage, and they're not going to be able to heal up, and they have a long way to go if their ships are destroyed. So it's gonna take them a lot longer to get back over to your base. So it's not as bad. That's why I say at the beginning, take those close to your spawn point and then go somewhere else and take something else. If you have strong enemies, if they're fighting each other, leave them alone and then pick up the scraps, especially if they're far away from their home base. So if you have 2 large enemies fighting each other, instead of barging in there and trying to take that location real quick while they're fighting, that's probably not going to happen. Just take another location, watch as they fight each other, and as that battle kind of winds down, then go in with your force and wipe out the leftovers. They're going to have to respawn and get all the way back while you're taking that area. So as a recap to this initial guide, before the event happens, discuss and communicate your plan. Make sure everyone is on the same page. Then your commander should use the marks within the battle itself to show people where to go. Commanders should be watching around the map to see what the next location is and to catch that brief awakening when it happens. Don't overextend your forces and minimize the time that you're flying to an area. If you follow these steps with that, you're most likely going to be successful. Get 20 people into the battle, communicate the plan, use the tools that we're given, and you'll do well. All right, and with that, take care.
Hello? If it's business, call me sir. Boots on, money con, I get to it first. Ride my wave, you must really like to surf.